clients have a variety of education levels about what video really costs. Sometimes they come in knowing what something's going to cost, but many times you have to educate them and you have to spend the time to explain this is why it costs what it does before giving them an end price, because there'll be sticker shock for a lot of people who think, oh, video is easy. You show up with a camera and then you edit it and then it's done, right? It's not that hard. And you're like, well, hold on a second. Let's start at the beginning. So I've found that to be the best approach, is an educational approach, and educate people on what their money is going to get them and then help them see the trade-offs. You could spend this and this is what you'd get, or you can spend this and this is how much better it would be. Focusing, of course, on business results and driving what will help them. So that starts with questions and understanding what are they really trying to get out of the video. Some people just want to make something that looks incredible. They want it to look the best it can be. They're going for a branding campaign. They're not looking for a specific ROI. They just need a specific image, tone, mood, or story to be associated with their brand. And they'll pay whatever they need to make sure they have that. In that context, it's a very different conversation than when you're working with, an example here is a local private school who came to us and they want to redo all their marketing materials. And they're a smaller company and they haven't done a lot of high quality video production yet. So I'm going through the process right now of educating, putting together comprehensive proposals, breaking out the budget into line items for them to see why it costs what it does, and then offering them a variety of benefits at the end. How much motion graphics do we want to do? Do we want to redo your logo and custom branding, or can we use what you already have? How many total videos do you want and how long are they going to be? All of these things are very typical conversations, but can help them understand why it costs what it does. So to answer your question, budgets are always a struggle. They're always variable. And as a business owner, we have to be, I think, smart about that and recognize that there's a lot going on beyond the money. Sometimes it's about the money, but a lot of the times, like I've said, it's about the relationship. And I'm willing to take a smaller budget to build something really exciting with somebody who I want to work with. And that also gives you an opportunity to hire people, right? And to further entrench yourself in the local, production company market. But also having those conversations with them and saying, hey, this is what I'll say. I work with a handful of DPs and we have a really good relationship such that I can come to them and say, hey, this project is for a nonprofit. It's a school. I know traditionally I pay you $1,500 a day for our Amazon projects. For this project, would you be able to do $1,000 a day for the same service? Because, we're also taking a cut on the fee, but it's going to be really good for our community. It's going to be really great for Seattle to have more people learn about this option for their kids. And they might say, yeah, that's actually fine. And you know what, I'm actually free that day anyway. And if we can keep it to 10 hours, I'm good to go. And I have that happen frequently. And so, but then you get the relationship, you get to create the work and you build that trust with your community, with the people around you. And that just leads to the next project coming in potentially at a little bit higher, or they recommend you to somebody. I've also had the opposite. I don't know if you've had this happen before where, maybe it's a bigger established production company or agency. They come to you, you ask them what the budget is, and you have that moment of who's going to say it first. And they drop a budget number that's, very healthy, maybe even 30-40% above what I would have quoted. And they're like, I don't know if will this work for you? And you're like, absolutely, that works for me. But now you have to over deliver. Now you have to go over and above, and you're going to also have to make sure that you don't end up in post-production complications where you're billing them for every additional round, right? At that point, when I get to that kind of budget and somebody's going to give me that much money, I will go over and above, I will bend over backwards, and I'll continue outside of our process to make sure that what I'm delivering is worth what they're paying, right? If that makes sense. So actually it's a calling to be better than I would have otherwise when that happens. And I love that.